Hello and welcome to another episode on Put Me In Coach podcast, episode 13, game 3 of the Diamondbacks versus Mets. And it's kind of like the World Baseball Classic final because of Aurora Rodriguez versus Nolan Mclean. And I also realized I said the wrong name, not the last name, but the first name of McLean. I said Noah McLean, but it's actually Nolan. So I I was very close, You gotta understand that and stuff. It's hard to remember names and stuff, and especially enough, he is very new to baseball and stuff. Like this is his second season. I wouldn't say second season and stuff. Like to him, yes, it is and stuff. Like this will be his like full season and stuff because I think he like played like half a season and stuff because like he only pitched for like eight starts for the Mets and stuff. So he's kind of brand new. So it's kind of hard to just remember names because my goodness, there's so many players and stuff, and you just got to have a unique name to remember and stuff. But yeah, so fortunately enough, it was kind of like a Venezuela versus USA in the World Baseball Classic with the Diamondbacks and the Mets today. So pretty crazy of a great matchup together and stuff. So this was a great game. So put me in, coach, because I am in the lineup. We got Kento Marte is back at second base because he was the DH. Well, actually, that's not true. My bad. Games can kind of get me mixed up and stuff. Corbin Carroll was actually the DH yesterday, not Kento Marte. And stuff. I am right. What am I thinking? Marte was the DH yesterday because I remember now enough of who played second base, and it was Vargas. So that's that. So I'm just saying Marte is back at second base, and so Vargas is playing first base. And then we got Adrian Del Castillo playing DH today. Jose Fernandez at third base. James McCain at catching. And Tim Tawa at left field, Jorge Barosa at right field. And fortunately enough, Corbin Carroll is not in the game because of the injury and stuff. Yesterday, when he got a triple and stuff, he kind of injured himself. When I actually saw him run to third base and stuff, fortunately enough, when his helmet came off, his helmet kind of clipped him in the back of the leg, on back of his leg and stuff while he was running and stuff. And then he figured out enough of why am I in pain and on my ankle or somewhere, bottom of my feet and stuff. And they actually showed him the clip of where the helmet actually hit him while he was running and stuff. And he didn't know that and stuff. So now he knows and stuff. So it's kind of like an interesting story. Did that and stuff. But I just thinking he kind of it just didn't look normal the way he was running. Like obviously, I love the hustle enough to get the triple and stuff. Even Barraza got a triple today as well. These are the guys playing outfield, and you got to have some speed to run, and especially even at the outfield and stuff. These guys have legs forever. So it's just to me enough of like when I saw the running at the triple and stuff, it like I was like, don't hurt yourself. So fortunately enough, he kind of did. So I didn't kind of want that, but hopefully enough he will come back and play some more games and stuff. And then Gabe Marino came in to catch for James McCain and did pretty good. So again, we didn't really start so. Yeah, we didn't start so well in the beginning and stuff. But after a little bit in the middle and at the end and stuff, we got hot with the bat and stuff. I'm telling you enough of when we show from yesterday, and they can do the same thing. They can win games and stuff, and exactly what they did and stuff. There was another thing I was gonna say. It was just, the other people in the lineup just look the same and stuff. The other person's not even in is Nolan Arenado and stuff. So they're just getting some rest and stuff. So that's pretty much it. That, and then there was another thing I even think about as well. And it's so interesting enough. Um, Ravello is putting people as DH and like different positions like Marte and Marino and Corbin Carroll and stuff. Obviously Adrian Del Castro and maybe Jose Fernandez is possibility enough to play DH as well. There's even other people can do it, like Tim Tawa and Jorge Barosa, even Vargas as well. Like, all these people can actually play DH as designated hitter and stuff. But it's very interesting enough that he does change it every game and stuff. In some ways enough, yes, you do want to give more people of a chance to play and stuff because, pretty much everybody on this team is very unique in their own style and stuff. And I feeling these guys are really good in some ways and stuff. But you don't want to change it too much. I wouldn't say, of it. Like, I get it, it's going to be like, Marte, Carroll, Perdomo, like pretty much like those are the biggest three people that are going to start in the lineup easily and stuff. Obviously Vargas is batting at second because of Corbin Carroll is not playing today and stuff, so he has that spot today. So, I like it enough of he's making those three just start every single time in the lineup as 1, 2, and 3. But, sometimes enough of like Nolan Arenado goes a little up, goes down, Marino goes down, and stuff. Alec Thomas is all over the place, and stuff. James Mclean is all over the place. Jose Fernandez is all over the place. Like, pretty much, if you've seen like Tim Tawa and Jorge Barosa, just going all over the place and stuff. Those are the most of the people are going to be all over the place and stuff. It's a little crazy, but I want to give credit enough of with Ravello of this. It is weird to me in a way, but you don't want to make it too comfortable of enough of like, yes, like these are great players on this team and stuff, and we want to have them good opportunity to play. Same thing like Jose Fernandez because he's new to the team and stuff. So just a matter of fact enough of if they're doing good or not or anything. I think that's another thing just to think about as well. And also games matter of enough, so you want to have your best players on the mound and on the field, I meant to say, and stuff. So those are just the little things here and there just to think about it enough. I know there's, like, I always talk about the lineup and what's different and all this stuff because it is different, every single time. I keep saying about it and stuff. It's very interesting, but that's just way enough of the Diamondbacks manager is doing that. So, it's what it is. Pitching wise of enough, Orodo Rodriguez did really good. Fortunately enough, he is not Zero Rodriguez today. And fortunately of enough, because he was pretty good. He had no errors at all till today. And fortunately enough, didn't really hurt his ERA and stuff. He only gave up 1 home run. So, still pretty good. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 2, and gave up 1 run and stuff. And that's like the Mets got basically and stuff. Nolan Mclean also did really, really good and stuff. I don't know why he cannot pitch this on the finals for Team USA and stuff. He looked pretty good. The only most biggest thing why people are really on Nolan Mclean very early and stuff because my goodness, like this guy is filthy every single time he's up to the plate and stuff. On the mound, I meant to say. Um, his movement is absolutely insane. He puts a lot of spin in his balls, and they really move a lot and stuff. So he went 7 innings, gave up 3, struck out 8, walked 2, and gave up no runs. Fortunately enough, he did leave later in the 7th and stuff, and he got 2 other people on base, and then Luke Weaver didn't end his inning for him to not get some ERAs, so he fortunately got some ERAs and stuff, so that's basically of that. And I think Nolan Mclean also got the loss, and Rodriguez got his first win and stuff. So it's kind of crazy enough of the better pitcher did good and still got the loss, and Rodriguez did, pretty good, but still got the win. And then our bullpen for the Diamondbacks, we got back-to-back Taylors of Taylor Clark and Taylor Rashi and stuff. And I really like Taylor Rashi. He's supposed, I'm feeling enough of he should be our closer and stuff, but I'm feeling enough of, man, if Justin Martinez is pitching and stuff, he's our closer. By the way, these are probably, in a way, enough of the Diamondbacks have, 3, really good, closer in some ways and stuff. And you could say 4 because of AJ Puck as well. I totally forgot about him because he could be, a really good closer for us and stuff. I would definitely say, my rank of who is the best and who's the least of those 4 pitchers. I say Justin Martinez number 1. There's no joke about it. The kid literally, throw gas. Nobody can even touch him. And same thing with Taylor Rashi. I'm thinking he's number 2. He's nasty. These 2 are so nasty. The batter can't even touch them and stuff. They might touch, a little bit on Martinez, but something about Rashi, it's just so interesting when I see when he grips the ball with his hand and he used his side forearm with his glove just to get the grip of it and stuff. And man, he tucks his arms, or I mean his fingers with the ball very, very well and stuff. And he's not afraid enough to show what the ball is. Sometimes enough of it's very he really does show the ball on TV and stuff. You can actually figure out of what pitch he's gonna throw and stuff. He changed it up a couple times and stuff, but you can tell and stuff because he's not afraid to show it and stuff, and he just hacks at the mound. So he's my number 2 as a closer, but I love him to just come in the 8th. And then if Justin Martinez was still playing, I would have him in the 9th and close it out and stuff. I think that's be back-to-back, no doubt of a good 2 pitchers coming in the 8th and the 9th and stuff. And then I would definitely say AJ Pug be number 3 on this list, and then Paul Sewald at number 4 and stuff. I like Sewald, but it's just there's something about enough of he doesn't put a lot of speed on his pitch and stuff, so that's kind of a little nervous in a way, but fortunately enough, he does get people to swing at the ball and get a strikeout and stuff because they're off pitch and they have a little movement and it kind of goes a little bit slow, so it kind of like mess up the timing on the batter. But fortunately enough, if the batter has that great timing, the ball is out of here, no doubt about it and stuff. So that's where enough of like it's a little. I'm a little nervous with Seawald in the play, but fortunately enough, he's our closer at the time and stuff. So hopefully we have like a very close game and he comes in and close and stuff. But Rashi should be one of the closest closer for us and stuff. He should be over Seawald, in my opinion and stuff. So love to see him pitching today, and he did great. And then we got scoring and stuff. I didn't really talk about every score and stuff, but just the ones like I really want to talk about and stuff. Fortunately, Roberto, I guess that's his name, Jr. did a solo home run to make it 1-0 bottom of the first, and that's the only run Rodriguez gave. So he's now one Rodriguez. And he got some ERA. I don't know how much, but somehow enough of he's not 0 ERAs anymore. So that's that. Gabe Marino got a RBI double to tie the game up in the top of the 7th, and then Alec Thomas did a RBI single to make it 2-1 in the top of the 7th, and then Jorge Barosa hit a RBI triple to make it as 4 in the top of the 7th with 4 runs. So we got 4 runs. So it literally went to it basically went like 5 or 4 to 1 like very quickly in the game and stuff, and they all came in the 7th. And then Gabriel Marino did again with another RBI double to make it 7-1 top of the 8th, and we won the game 7-1. That is the total score, and our record is now 7-6. So now we're over 500. That's good. We won the series over the Mets. That's another good win for us because we don't want to lose our series, and we won it out of 3 games of 2-1 in a way and stuff. So that's pretty much of that progress. So again, I like the bats. It's just the thing is I thinking just I thinking Nolan Mclean did a really good job in the beginning. That's why we had a little rough time pitching off of him and stuff, hitting off of him and stuff. So that's where enough of we kind of struggled, but after enough when he came out and then Luke Weaver came in to pitch for the Mets, and he's also a former Diamondbacks. We kind of got a little on board with the runs and the hits just keep going and stuff. So we kind of exploded on the Mets bullpen and stuff. We like to see that, we like to have like a little comeback, snakes alive and all stuff. Like those are great moments and stuff. Hopefully we do that every game enough, but I like to see more of the progress in the game every single inning. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't score. I love just seeing hits. I don't like strikeouts. I would be fine if you ground out or fly up or anything and stuff. I'm totally fine with that. It's just don't help the pitcher on the opponent's side with strikes, because it's just obviously yes, Nolan Mclean is a good pitcher and stuff. He's nasty, especially today and stuff, but it's just you're pretty much giving him easy strikeouts and stuff, and we really don't want that and stuff. And stuff. The biggest thing I didn't really like and stuff is Marte went 0 for 5. He's our best player on the team and stuff, the best second baseman in MLB and stuff, and he just cannot hit today and stuff. So We just need to just keep progressing in every game and stuff. And if we hit the ways we are and get people on base and get some runs and stuff, and not having our opponent's teams to get runs off of us and stuff, we can absolutely win the game and stuff. So that's I think the most biggest, just progress enough, just progress winning. That's just what we need. We need more wins and stuff. It's too early um in the season and stuff right now, because this is like the 13 game and stuff we have. So it would be better if we had a better record and stuff, but we really don't. So like, I get there's other teams that are like also 7-6 or 6-6 or any like other things and stuff, like, so we don't really have a close chance enough of being the best of the best, because right now we're kind of in the middle and stuff, and that's okay. It's a good start in a way, but it's not better than the Dodgers. If we want to be competing against the Dodgers, we gotta do better and stuff. So that's the biggest thing and stuff. The MVP for today is literally the person actually came in later of the game and got 2 doubles, went 2 for 2, got pretty much 2 RBIs and 2 doubles to get some runs for the Diamondbacks. That will be our catcher, backup catcher today, I guess. Gabriel Marino as MVP today. This will be his first one in my thing and stuff. So good to see him coming through and be the hero of the game. And he really helped us get some runs and stuff. There's no thing about enough to get more runs where enough of the other team are not getting runs, Like, you don't want the other team to have a comeback and be having a much closer game. You want to hack runs no matter how many you can get and stuff. Like, the Braves already did it to us and stuff. We can do it to other teams, and there shouldn't be a thing where enough of like we shouldn't do this and stuff. Like, you should and stuff, because you never know in baseball, because there's no time and stuff. There's extra innings that goes all the way to the 9th inning and stuff, and you can literally have a lead like 10-0, and the other opponent team could absolutely come back and win it all. They could, and that happens before and stuff. So you want to get the most runs you can in a game and stuff. Obviously it's crazy enough seeing like a game to win it as 1-0, and that's the only runs you get and stuff. We've done that before and stuff. We did it with the Tigers when we swept them and stuff. Those are the things that just happens and stuff in game. Like, it's baseball and stuff. I'm just saying enough of like, let's just get the most we can and don't let our opponent team have a comeback and stuff. And if we're the opposite of that, we want to have a comeback and stuff. Like, we gotta win no matter what we can do and stuff. Like, that's the most biggest thing. Every single time we have to have this positive energy to go each game and stuff, and just do our best and win some games and stuff. And if we do that, we're peak, man. We're peak. So that's pretty much of that. Tomorrow I guess they're going to Philadelphia, playing the Phillies and stuff. I'm again nervous and stuff, because honestly enough, that's a really good team and stuff. But I have a little feeling enough if they're playing this way and stuff, we probably have a good chance and stuff. So I'm excited. I think you guys should be excited and stuff. Hopefully you guys like enjoying these videos and stuff. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.